Okay. So hi everyone again. I hope that this time stream is clear. So there was some issue that came in stream and it got disconnected apparently. So I hope that it's clear now. So let's get started with the session. So in this particular session, we are going to discuss that how we are going to cover current affairs in the coming year. What will be about the newspaper analysis? Are we going to continue with the newspaper analysis? Yes or no? If yes, then why? If no, then why? So all these particular answers I'm going to answer here. However, if you have any question with respect to newspaper analysis or anything, towards the last, I shall be taking your doubts as well. So first of all, let me get started with this. So first of all, when we talk about the newspaper analysis, so guys, this newspaper analysis session I started way back in 2020, and to be very precise, on 25th March 2020, I took the first session of newspaper analysis. And at that point of a time, what was the reasoning for me to start this newspaper analysis? Was that at that point of a time, there were not many good sources covering this newspaper analysis. There were very few channels, and particularly those channels also were in Hindi medium. There were few channels, and those channels were also in Hindi medium, which were covering the newspaper analysis video. And I found this particular thing that there are a lot of aspirants, particularly from the southern part of our country, from the northeast, and even in the northern belt, central belt, eastern belt. There are many of the students who prefer to see newspaper analysis video in English because they are giving the examination in English, and therefore they wanted to do it in English. So therefore I started with this newspaper analysis video. And I frankly knew this particular thing from the very start, that the reachability of this particular channel, if I stayed in English medium, will always be very much less. But no issues, we started with this. However, in past few months, what I have observed this particular thing, that actually the current affair coverage that I am doing, which is specifically based on the Hindu newspaper, number one, it has become more of a kind of a comfort zone for me, and not only for me, even for many of the aspirants, it has become a comfort zone, that every day there will be a 40 minutes, 50 minutes kind of a video that will come. They'll watch that 40, 50 minutes video, and the thing is done. But from past few days, I have started reconsidering this particular fact, that the way that we are doing newspaper analysis, is this the most smartest way? Second problem, the second thing that I am observing is that basically what is the problem that students are facing is with respect to the notes arrangement. So basically what happens every day, let's say I am sharing 10 pages, 12 pages notes. Now aspirants often they find this particular problem, that in a week time they are getting around 70 to 80 pages of notes. Now, how to compile this particular notes? How to compile this particular notes, that has been a genuine problem for many of the aspirants. Moreover, next problem that we find here is that element of diversity, often element of diversity, it uh, gets missed. Now, I will admit one particular thing here from my side, and this thing is that often I had said this particular thing, that you please do only one newspaper, and doing this one newspaper will be sufficient for the examination. I have said it many number of a times from my side, and I still stand with this particular thing. I still stand with this particular thing. But one thing that's there is that when we go across some other good newspapers also, for example, Hindustan Times, Indian Express particularly, now not every day I am saying that you have to read three newspapers. No, I am not saying that every day you have to read these three newspapers. But sometimes, once in a while, I come across some good keywords, some good case studies, some good book references that have been given in the other newspapers, in the other newspaper. And let me share that particular thing with you. Let me share that particular thing with you. Okay. So, just I will share the screen here. Just I will share the screen here, and just be there for a minute. Just give me 1 minute. Just guys, give me 1 minute. One thing just I need to show. Yes. Here, just you can see one article that I am just opening here. Now, see, basically, this is the article from Hindustan Times, and in Hindustan Times, they do this particular podcast by the name of Grand Tamasha. And in this particular podcast, often they are discussing some ideas, particularly pertaining to governance, economy, social justice, etc. For example, this particular week, they brought this particular episode on Grand Tamasha, and it was based on a new book that is released by Karthik Muralidharan, and the name of book is Accelerating India's Development, a State-Led Roadmap. Now, in this particular book, they have presented a premise, and I really liked this particular premise. Now, what was the premise of this particular book? So they provided this particular thing that actually when we talk about developmental problem in India, you find this particular thing that health is in bad shape. We find that education is in bad shape. Infrastructure development is not there. Now we always say this particular thing that problem is of fund. But how they have presented this particular thing is that they say that actually for the development, state capacity is a crucial variable that determines whether development spending in India translates into better development outcomes or not. Problem is that institutions that we have in country, these institutions don't have a capacity to even use the money. If you give them money, now even with this particular thing, I just want to make a point that see this thing. Just I just want to make a point basis. Just a minute. Okay, fine. So I just want to make a point on this particular basis that see, even national health policy came in 2017, which said that at least 2.5% of our GDP we need to spend on health. The biggest issue that came here is that even if you give 2.5% of GDP to health, how those institutions are going to spend that particular money? Capacity in the institutions is not there. That is the biggest problem of governance. Now, why I am saying this particular thing in between, this particular thing will come in your mind that why you are saying all these things in between, why you are telling us all this, how does it make sense? Now, it makes sense because see, the type of questions that are now being asked in the mains examination, if you are just writing those particular generic points that everybody is writing, okay, the point is that today you are not going to score that good in the mains examination, because if you will ever go and if you will ever see the copies of the toppers, now these copies are available on a lot of coaching institutes website, just you see the examples that they are using, book references they are using, case studies that they are using in these particular their particular answers. Now, my point is that what I just want to do, I am looking for a kind of an initiative. Now, what is the idea? Idea is simply this, that I am looking for a kind of an initiative which is not just limited to few articles that are coming on a daily basis in just the Hindu newspaper. I have to cover this particular article even if they make sense or not. The point is that an element of diversity. The point is that an element of diversity, often I felt that it is missing, because many such kind of a case studies, many such kind of a references, I was not getting them on a daily basis in the Hindu newspaper. There was one more problem is that many a times many aspirants they ask this particular thing with me that sir, your this Hindu newspaper analysis often looks more oriented towards the mains examination, PT specific articles, we are not finding that. But I have shown every day the entire newspaper to you, that okay, page 1 this was there, page 2 this was there, page 3 this was there, and we have covered the entire newspaper. And sometimes there are certain things, some PT specific content we were not finding in the Hindu newspaper. Okay, and when we were just limited on one particular newspaper, that was a genuine issue that was coming. So considering all this particular thing, what I have decided, I have simply decided that I just want to expand. I simply just want to expand the horizon of this particular current affairs session or newspaper analysis that we are taking. This is just my understanding. Now, also, one more thing that I just wanted to tell you guys here is that, see, one more problem I have faced, and the problem that comes here is that sometimes what happens, there is a particular issue that gets started. Okay, now there is one development that will come around that particular issue on day one. Then there will be some more development that will be coming in on day two. Likewise, that particular issue, let's say, evolves for 5 6 days, and for continuous 5 6 days, what we are doing that particular thing again and again and again. Let me show you one particular example here, and by that example you'll be able to connect that what I'm trying to say. Let me share one example here. Okay, just a minute. So I hope that the screen is visible. Okay, so this is the last 1 year's newspaper notes, and okay, so there was this one particular article that came, and the article was with respect to this fire incident that happened. Now you all might be knowing about this fire hazard incident that happened. So there was one of a indoor gaming room, there was one indoor gaming center in Rajkot, and there was one hospital, one pediatric center in Delhi which got fire. Now there were many reasons that why this particular fire happened. So license of that hospital was expired. Just a minute. License of that hospital was expired. There was the oxygen cylinders that were stored in reception area. No fire extinguisher, no back exit. These are the reasons. Now, if I just see that on the Monday, this particular thing was reported that there was a fire incident that has happened. On Monday, this particular thing was there. There's just a fire hazard has happened. But over next 2 3 days, there were many articles that have come on this fire. And from these particular 3 4 days of coverage, I've collected this particular content with respect to the fire safety in India. First of all, when we talk about the fire safety, so National Building Code is there, which contains the detailed road of action, road map that how to control the fire hazards. And we find this particular thing that actually, when we talk about the fire operations, these fire operations they fall under municipalities. Inspections are weak. This is the reason that every year these fire incidents are happening. In 2021 also there was a fire incident that happened, and we have here a case study of Maharashtra. So in Maharashtra, case study was done, and it was found that out of 484 hospitals, 80% did not have fire safety clearance. And this incident, this is the issue with almost hospitals in every big city, even including Delhi. Now, when we talk about the fire safety, so as there is this heat wave going on, so Union Health Ministry has also issued safety guidelines, particularly that health facilities, they need to be audited, that whether they are fire safety compliant or not. Okay, these things should be seen, but it did not happen. Then here, there was this one particular case study, that is the FAQ Pinkerton study, which talked about that urban India also has very less fire stations. If in case a fire incident happens, they don't have fire stations to douse of these particular fires. Even 15th Finance Commission has provided that we need to modernize the firefighting infrastructure also. So number one, we needed to ensure that basically public buildings are complying, but on another hand, the fire safety needs is also there. Then there is one more angle that opens up, that when we talk about these particular hospitals which got fire in Delhi, this was very clearly a very shady kind of hospital. But why these hospitals are mushrooming, and why there is so much of demand? For that, we had this Lancet study talking about that actually there is so much shortage of NICU bed, and even and in government hospitals it's very difficult to get a bed. So good hospitals, they are expensive. Government hospital, there is no way that you can get a bed. And then there is a space that opens up, that these shady hospitals, they operate which just for saving some cost, they don't take adequate precautions. Now what I'm just trying to say you here is that, you see, just if you'll see this much of content is there on the fire safety. This much content is there on the fire safety. This content will evolve even more in next 2 3 days. Now point is that basically we need to have a kind of an approach where we should let any development evolve, and once it gets evolved adequately, 5 7 8 articles that were there on one particular development, we should cover it. That I believe is a more that I believe is a more better approach. Okay, so these are some of the problems that I have found. These are some of the problems that I have found. I will summarize these particular problems again, just for the sake of your better understanding. So, what are the problems that we have? Number one problem that I have is that there is some rich diversity that I want to add in the course, in this particular classes, and for that I need to go little bit beyond the Hindu's scope. Some days I just want to include certain references from Hindustan Times, Indian Express, Frontline. But when every day we are doing this, including it becomes little bit difficult. Then second issue that comes here is that PT specific section. PT specific section. For that PIB, and then there are certain tidbits that are there. Fine, often that I felt is getting missed in the Hindu newspaper. That is one issue that came. Then the third problem, the third issue that came was that I just want to ensure that basically there should be no FOMO. There should not be a FOMO that every day you have to spend 1 hour, 2 hour on newspaper and just we are tracking one development as it is happening. I just want that let one particular development evolve, and once that particular development has evolved, at once I want to discuss that particular article and I just want to wind it off. Okay, every day I just don't want to discuss one particular article because it wastes a lot of crucial time of you. So, with this particular approach, I am just further thinking to upgrade this particular newspaper analysis. I am not saying that we are doing something else. I am just saying that I just want to upgrade this particular newspaper analysis. And now, what is this particular upgrade that I am talking about? So, basically, guys, the upgrade will be like this: that rather than doing it daily newspaper analysis, rather than going for daily newspaper analysis, I am going to do a weekly session on Sunday. I am thinking to go for a weekly session on Sunday. In this particular weekly session, what I am going to do, I am going to divide this. Now, first of all, this will not be a 40-50 minutes or 1 hour session. It will be a full-fledged class of, let's say, around 2 hours or something like that. It will be a full-fledged class of 2 hours or 2.5 hours. Fine. As of now, I don't know that what will be the duration, but it will be a long class. Here, what we are going to do, we are going to cover the PT specific news, mains specific news, PT specific news, main specific news. In mains specific news, what I just want to do, I want to go for paper wise, like GS paper 1. What important articles were there? GS paper number 2, GS paper number 3, GS paper number 4. So all the important articles that have been there in the newspaper in the last 1 week, I want to cover them one by one. And once that particular thing has been done, then important case studies, some book references, some book references. If there are some quotation that have been there which can be important for essay, that is something that I just want it should also get integrated. Okay, so this is going to be the structure of the entire week. Now just I want to show you that how there are some good articles which often gets missed, but I want to integrate them in the newspaper. Just let me show you. I am going to give you the example from today's newspaper. Today's newspaper. So let me share the screen here. Now in Indian Express, there is one particular article that came today, that is why an accused in jail can contest but cannot vote in election. Now, guys, if you talk about now see, when we talk about the Representation of People Act, when we talk about the Representation of People Act 1951, its provisions are clearly mentioned in the GS paper number 2. Are clearly mentioned in the GS paper number 2. Then further, just a minute. Fine. So this was a good article. Then danger from landslides. So if you have followed the newspaper recently in Papua New Guinea, there was a big landslide incident that has happened, which has become a major news. Which has become a major news. Okay. Now, point is that there are these some good articles which I directly find are correlated with our syllabus, GS paper number 2 or GS paper number 3. For example, there is this particular article on landslides, which I particularly found is very good in terms of coverage that it has done. Fine in terms of coverage that it has done. So my point is that I just don't want to leave these particular articles. But problem is that on daily basis, I cannot cover three newspapers every day because that is not possible on daily basis. That is not possible on the daily basis. So just what I'm looking for a little bit of a wide horizon that is over a week so that I can make notes at my own, so that I can compile these particular articles. I can filter out the noise that's there because certain things are getting repeated again and again. So I just want to filter out this particular noise and I want to just curate a particular kind of a one class which will be 2 hour class, 2.5 hour class weekly. But I just want that this particular class should be the one stop solution. Now see, often what students are doing, students see, newspaper analysis is available every day on the YouTube free of cost, but there are so many students which have joined year long current affair classes. Now why? Point is not the lack of content. Point is that there is not one stop destination which is compiling and which is giving the notes in such a manner that it becomes digestible, not today but at the end of 1 year. Okay, so this is something that has been there. Now just let me give you example the type of coverage that I am just trying to plan here. Now you see this particular thing. Here you can see the screen. So though newspaper has not been there in the past 1 week, but continuously I have been making these particular notes. For example, if I talk about, let's say, the GS paper number 2, just if I talk about the GS paper number 2. Now, what are the important articles that have been there in the newspaper in today's Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, in past 3 days? What important articles are there? So first of all, on affirmative action, there was one particular case study. Karnataka government, what they have done, they have provided for 33% reservation for women, even in those posts which are being outsourced to other departments. So now Group C, Group D post, Karnataka government is outsourcing to the other departments. So even that there, they are talking about the reservation for the women. Now this can be a case study that could be used in your governance answers. Now, no, it is not that major. Now let's come on AI. So basically on AI, there are multiple articles that have come in the past 1 week. For example, there was this article, Council on Europe, which has adopted the AI convention. So this is the entire summary of AI convention. Then guys, on AI, there was basically AI in judiciary. So basically on AI in judiciary, there was this one particular article which I picked maybe in from Indian Express or Hindu. I don't actually remember. So basically, what is the viewpoint? How now see, there's a Manipur High Court that used Chat GPT for research in one of a case. So basically, what is the viewpoint of judiciary on usage of Chat GPT or AI within the judiciary? Okay. So now basically this is something that has evolved over 1 week. Maybe there will be some more articles that will be coming. So I just don't want to cover 5 articles on AI in a week. I want to cover one article on AI, but it should have all those 5 dimensions. Then there was this one article on Antarctica treaty that came. Okay, so recently what has happened? Antarctic Treaty consultative meeting has got started in Kochi. Now, with respect to the Antarctica, all the important things. Now, this particular article I have, I think, taken from Indian Express. I don't know whether it was in Hindu or not, but I didn't find it. Maybe I have missed, but I think I have taken it from Indian Express. So, with respect to the Antarctica governance, Antarctica Bill 2022 that came. Now, this bill was not mentioned in that particular article, but it was there. Fine. So, my point is that what is the thing? The thing is that I just want that there should be one weekly session. I just want that there should be a weekly session. Okay, then I was, let's say, talking about the books also, that some book references that you can use in essay or in ethics. So the premise from this Accelerating India's Development book was there. Okay, then case studies. When we talk about the case studies, so basically on case studies also, there were two case studies that I found particularly for ethics. One case study was from UK. So in UK, now this is one of our biggest medical ethics controversy that happened. That NHS of UK, they know this particular thing, that the blood that they are administering to people was infected with HIV, but they still gave that particular blood. So this was one case study from ethics point of view. So my point is that I just want to ensure, I just have this particular idea in the mind that uh, just a minute. Okay. So I hope that you have understood that what I'm just now thinking. So basically, idea is that rather than having this everyday session, okay, I just want to devote that particular time in collecting better content, in creating better notes, in organizing this particular notes section wise. And I just want that rather than doing it as an everyday ritual, fine, there should be one class, maybe on Saturday, on Sunday, which might be a long class, 2 hour class, 2.5 hour class, and that particular class should be known by dense, rich content that's there. No unnecessary content, no ranting here and there, pure content. I just want that the notes should be like this, that uh, notes should be like that, where you find everything. You find the case studies, you find the issues, and it should be digestible at the same time. So this is an idea with which I just want to take forward this particular analysis. Okay. Now guys, just I want to know that what are your views on this. So now please let me know that what are your views. Okay, now please let me know that what are your views. I think I have shared it, what I just wanted to say. Yes, guys, please reply that what you think about that. Should we go forward with that, or what are your views? Okay, just a minute. I think there is some lag from my side. Fine. Okay, so that will be the approach that we are going to use in the coming classes, and I hope that you have got much clarity. I hope that you have got much clarity with respect to the session. Okay, and trust me, this particular thing that trust this particular thing that this particular thing that we are doing, it is a kind of a upgrade that you are going to think that was worthwhile in just few coming days. Okay, so this is something that's there, and telling this particular thing, trust me, that Hindu newspaper everyday analysis has actually become a, it is more of a comfort for me, because I'm doing this particular thing for more than 4 years, and for me it's very very easy. Okay, I have entire process. Okay, that okay, I have these entire 4 5 steps that I'm going to do every day. I'll make notes. It doesn't takes me that time today with what it was taking me 2 years back, 3 years back. Fine. So today it doesn't takes that time for me. So for me, doing it is not a difficult thing. Okay, rather now when I'm doing making notes from 3 newspapers every day, it's taking actually more time. It's taking actually more time. For me, commercially also doing newspaper analysis every day makes more sense. Why? Because every day if I am making new video, I am getting new subscribers every day. Okay, it's making more sense. This is the reason that every big institute, why they are having this daily newspaper analysis every day, doesn't matter then whether they are giving the cream material or not. Reason being that every day you get more new subscribers. Okay, but I don't want to go in that particular thing. I just want that this class should be one, this class should be one which should set a higher standard, which should set a higher bar. Okay, so that is the thing. And on this Sunday we'll be having a class. Okay, and this class will be keeping up live, so that it should be interactive. Now understand, the idea is this, that it will be done in a class like manner. It will be done in a class like manner, and I might also be coming out with some kind of a system so that I can know that who are the students who are watching this particular class, so that we can create a cohort, we can create a kind of a group of the students who are following it on the regular basis. Okay, so I want to keep it a little bit exclusive. I just want to keep it exclusive. That is something that I also want. So maybe I don't know what I'm going to do right now, but I want to create a community around this particular weekly class that's there. Okay, so let's do that. And anyhow, always we are open to any suggestion or any idea. If it makes it more worthwhile, I am always open for that also. So I'll be looking forward and will be taking your suggestions. But right now, I think that's going to be more helpful, and that will make this particular session even more fruitful. So let's go forward with that, and don't think that your coverage or paper is getting missed every day on daily basis. I am myself doing the homework myself. I am well making the notes, and let me give you a glimpse also if you want. So today, so in the today's newspaper, if you have read, there was this one particular article that came. Uh, Fine. So if we talk about the editorial session today, so there was this Palestine statehood issue that came. Now, this article is from the Hindu newspaper, where they have talked about this particular Palestine issue. There, here, the below photograph that you can see, it is the from the this HT Hindustan Times. Okay, so that has been well covered. There was one article on the fire safety in the today's Hindu newspaper in text and context page. Let me share that also with you. Okay, so from there also, though this particular article that I have read, that was there in the today's text and context page with respect to fire safety, frankly didn't contain much of a substance. Okay, so yes, here you have this article, fire safety regulations in India. Fine, very, very technical things are there which are not needed for our examination, but okay, still whatever the good content was there, I have extracted this particular content from the article and I have put there. Now, entire newspaper, you see, it is filled with the political news. It's filled with the political news. Now, what should I cover? You just tell me this thing. Okay, so point is that, okay, there is one this particular article that is on Google or Amazon antitrust bill. Now this is an important article, so that particular thing has already been covered. So if I just show you, okay, so this is the topic of GS paper number 3. This is the topic of GS paper number 3. So if we go here in GS paper number 3, yes, so if we go here in the GS paper number 3 and economy, yes, antitrust laws. So here this antitrust law issue that I have covered it from. Now obviously I am not going to cover this big article with you. I will further prune it down, I will further edit it, but this is the entire content on the antitrust covered. I have taken it from Hindu and the Hindustan Times. Okay, now this is one SNT article about the pre-fire in the yesterday's newspaper. So point is that the things have not stopped. Work is going on in the background. Work is going on in the background. The things have not stopped. Okay, so don't be worried. Okay, so things have not stopped. Rather, it is a kind of an upgrade that we are doing. Okay, that we are doing, and I am pretty sure that you are going to like this way more than what. Now, just one thing I can assure that I know that you have loved the daily newspaper analysis, but this is something that you will love even more. Okay, and that is one assurance that I can give you. Just wait for a few days, and one thing that I can assume, everyone who is looking for newspaper analysis is surely you all are preparing for 2025 attempt, because the ones who are giving 2024 attempt, they are not looking for the newspaper analysis or the current affairs right now, because they are occupied with their prelims examination. So everyone who is right now looking for newspaper analysis or still interested in current affairs is the one who is preparing for 2025. So if that is the thing, then let's do it more systematically. Let's do it in a more better way. So this is all from my side, and I'll take your doubts now. Okay, much needed. I think that's better. Fantastic idea. Sunday class would be helpful in revising, also catching up. Go ahead, helpful. Please do it. Good. And also one more thing. Yes, I also will insist this particular thing that reading is the best good habit. And for UPSC aspirant, if you are not reading, then you are not then you should do that. Okay, so I'll insist you that please go for reading at your own also, and by the week you'll get everything compiled nicely in the notes. You'll get everything compiled nicely in the notes. So comparison, yes, we want many articles on one issue repeatedly. Yes, that's the thing. Helpful, good. So I think upcoming will be good. Yes, it will be good. Definitely, it will be good, and will ensure to add more and more components also. Weekly class would be helpful. Waiting. Can we include prelims and mains question? Yes, we can do that. Thanks a ton. We would. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Sir will be covering, or we will cover the entire details. See, Diksha has asked a question, sir. Will we covering only the information or the entire details? Idea to have this news weekly session is to have a holistic idea. So, giving the entire picture of an article and assuming that the one who is watching it doesn't knows this thing. Now, this is my way of teaching. Fine. I don't assume that, okay, these are the basic things you might be knowing. Now, some things, if they are too basic, okay, if I'm taking a class, some advanced class, if I'm taking, then I might assume that, okay, this is very basic. But when I'm taking it on a public platform and when the people that we are having are heterogeneous in nature, so I'm not going to assume that you might be having some kind of a clarity. I will be giving you a brief background always. Plan for 2025 ethics course. Ethics will be coming after the prelims. Sorry, this, yes, prelims examination. Can you just point the articles important from PSIR? Okay, we'll try to do something on that. What about FOMO? Now, this is about the FOMO only. Okay, this is about the FOMO only. Now, see, uh, let me show you that. So there is one question about the FOMO. Let me show you one particular thing. Again, I'll take you on my laptop screen. Now, see this thing. This is today's PIB. Actually, yesterday's 28th May's PIB. So yesterday there was this Pragati 2024 initiative that was launched. Now I didn't found this Pragati 2024 initiative in the Hindu newspaper today. Now what is this Pragati initiative? This Pragati 2024 is pharma research in Ayurgyan and techno innovation. So with respect to the Ayurveda and technology, this Pragati 2024 has been launched. Now these are certain things. Basically, in prelims examination, you know that already that these kind of questions are being asked. So my point is that I want to have a separate. My point is that I want to have a separate session for separate segment for prelims and a separate segment for mains examination, so that these small initiatives, some kind of an exercise, some kind of an application, etc., if they are getting launched, we don't miss them, because sometimes I don't find these things in Hindu. So even for covering that, I just want to include or to have a separate session for prelims examination. Fine. So I hope that this answers the question about FOMO. This answers the question about FOMO. Okay. I hope it's clear then. Plan for 2025. Yes, this is a plan for 2025 itself, and specifically for 2025 students. For current affairs, we'll do something else also, but just give us some time on that. Just give us some time on that. Fine. Okay. So should we start it? Should we start with this then? Hanji guys. So should we start with this then? Okay. And one more thing, that I am going to conduct these classes live, and I want the maximum participation from your side. Okay, I want maximum participation from your side. I want maximum live presence here. And one more thing, now this time I am very brutal and I'm going to be very straightforward on this. That, see, I'm going to do a lot of hard work on these weekly classes. I'm going to compile a lot of sources. And if I don't find that, see this particular thing. Please ensure that you are engaging, and I want your serious participation. If serious participation is missing, maybe I will turn this initiative as a kind of a closed course. Closed doesn't mean that it I will be making it paid, means that I might be giving this access to those students who are really serious. Okay, money will not be charged from them as of now, so don't worry on that. But what I want a community of some serious aspirants. So please do commit to this and try to form a community. Okay, so that's all. And this Sunday we are going to start, and every Sunday it will be there. Sunday or Saturday, I'll figure it out in a day or two. But yes, every week it will be there. Every week it will be there. Okay, Sunday or Saturday hardly makes a difference. We'll figure it out. I'm keeping it on Sunday so that entire week's horizon we get. Okay, so that will be about it. Okay, so with this, we come to an end to this session. I hope that you have got much clarity. Still, if there is anybody's doubt, you can ask your doubt. Okay, questions I will integrate, don't worry. Fine. Okay, okay. Make shorts of 30 to 60 seconds. Okay, have fine, Diksha will try about that. About sir, about timing. Timing I need to figure it out. Okay, timing I need to figure out. Okay, but I will share in advance on Telegram group. I will share in advance on Telegram group. Okay, guys. Anything? Sir, just a suggestion. Yes, dear, please give what is your suggestion. Fine. Okay, so let's get started with this uh, current affairs 2.0. And this time, just I want to assure this thing that this should be one-stop solution. Mains question also will be taking it up. Don't worry. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Yes, dear sir, please promise not to discontinue. No, 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 no. It will be there. And provide subject wise. Yes, 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 yes. Notes will be there. Notes will be shared. And the ones who are following me regularly, you know that everything that I take, I do share the notes because I have made notes. Why I will keep it with me if I have made it? Fine. So notes are for you and you'll get the notes. Don't worry. Okay. Fine, guys. So we'll be meeting this Sunday, and after that, every Sunday we'll be meeting. Take care, everyone.